A song or psalm of Asaph. Keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. 4. Lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes. Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them, they have holpen the children of Lot. Selah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to
And Revelations 12 and 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world. He was cast into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God, and the power of his Christ. For the accusers of our brethren is cast down, which accuse them before God night and day. And the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, America, that she might fly into the wilderness, a place where is not favorable for the woman, the wilderness, although into her place where she is nourished for a time and time and a half a time from the face of the serpent. A system was prepared for Israel to take care of them. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away in a flood.
Cabal. Cabal.
The contrived scheme of a group of persons secretly united in a plot to overturn a government. The government was the government of Israel, the citizenship, the government of the Most High God, governing his people through his laws, which are the minds of God. Let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus, okay? Let's see. That was a synonym. As a verb, cabal, to unite or in or form a cabal. Now look at that ball, ball, the devil. United together, okay? All right. For lo, thine enemy, Psalms 83, make a tumult, an angry gathering, and they that hate thee has lifted up the head. All right. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation. The name of the Lord, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. They have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The contrived cabal. The contrived scheme of a group of persons secretly united in a plot to overturn the government. In this case, it would be the government of England. A group engaged in such scheme, united in the form of a cabal. A mother, a woman, a living soul, created by God, of flesh and blood, very much alive, went into the founding a safe place to abandon a child hospital, believing she would get care, but instead she was falsely declared indigent and a pauper. There are three key reasons why the secret of political factions, why the secret of political factions, a cabal, masquerading as a government, can lawfully maintain their control. Okay? Let me show you something else. First of all, we want to show you that when you go into their hospitals and sign their birth certificate, you're signing your children. That is the flood from the serpent's mouth, from the devil's mouth, his laws. The birth certificate. Informant, your mother. Autograph and indictment, witness, document at the hospital. When you were born, you're with footprint that you may have no parental holder of your estate. Your parents do not own you. And from a child, they begin to use you, right? They use you as a obligee. Your parents have no more rights over you. Register your birth certificate in probate. The judge signs your estate into probate, and you become a ward of the state. That's how you become a ward of the state. That's how they can come in and take control of your children and tell you better send them to school and you better educate them with this education and they better follow my laws. And you are obligated to make sure that child stays within the policies of you train them up and make them honor the policies. Secret Treaty of Verona is your obligation to the people who birthed your child for you, because we showed you where you were considered indigent, poor, feeble-minded. The devil opened his mouth and poured out water after the woman was taken to the wilderness, at the same time nourishing them. It was God's plan for the devil to take you in custody and nourish you, although he was thinking this way. Wisdom of Solomon 10. Let us oppress the poor and righteous man. Let us not spare the widow, nor reverence the ancient gray of hair of age. He was thinking you were worth nothing. Let our strength be the law of justice. Their strength, their flood coming from the mouth of the dragon was him making laws and making you think that God ordained his laws as the law of the land. In a sense, he did. Only until we wake up and start resisting. You understand? When we wake up and start resisting, then his laws become lies. Let our strength be the law of justice. For that which is feeble is found to be nothing, worth nothing, worth nothing. You understand? You understand now? Back to Revelations. This is a precept to Revelations, verse 12. Well, all of this is, but verse 12. Let us lie in wait. The devil waiting, had her in the wilderness and waiting to take control. Let us lie in wait for the righteous man. When they born, they wait until you birth a child, then they can take and use that child as collateral, as collateral, just like your church members. The church has its parishioners, its members to sign a roll, and then they take that roll and that agreement. That's an agreement. They take that to the bank and borrow money based on the signatures of the members, saying that these members will give me 10% of their earnings, and I can pay that loan back with that. Okay, we're good for it. It's collateral. So the children are collateral in that sense that they will, their citizenship, they say you can't be citizens. Their citizenship, in other words, they transfer you out of the kingdom of the Most High God through that birth certificate, into their citizenship, put you on the roll. And don't worry about that three-fifths of a human. That's not what that means, what we've been trying to teach it means. That ain't what that means. That means your vote is not counted. Every 3 out of 5 votes are counted. You know, the other 2 not counted, right? That don't mean they thought you wasn't human. The devil know who you is. He know we are human. He know everything God. He takes his clues from the Most High God too. He works for God. Look at when he asked Job, when he asked the devil, where you been? Came before God. The devil came before God and said, God asked him, where you been? He said, going to and for the earth. It all makes sense. It all fits together. He said, have you considered my servant Job? I'm moving, I'm paraphrasing. He said, how can I? Job got a hedge around him. You got him protected because he don't even believe in me. He don't have no faith in me. He don't see my power. He only see your power. He said, well, okay, I'm going to let you touch him and see if you can shake him off of that belief system he has. That's what this is all about. Therefore, let us lie in wait, because he is not for our turn. That was Job. He is clean contrary to our doing. That was Job. He upbraideth us with our offending the law. We understand what the law is, but we break the law and make new laws. While we got them in this wilderness, we make them think that our laws override their laws. Their laws don't count no more than them old laws, when our laws don't make no sense. Our objective to our infamy and transgress of our education. Infamy, meaning therefore they're making things, they're designing things for their good, right? They avail, so they can avail us. And they're transgressing, the transgressing of our education. We find fault in their education, and we consider it as nothing. He professed to have the knowledge of God, and he called himself the child of the Lord. He was made to reprove our thought, the transgression of our education, reproving our thoughts. Jeremiah 30:1. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Thus speaketh the Lord God of Israel. This is God speaking, Jeremiah, saying, Write all these words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the day cometh, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, bring them out of the wilderness. Israel, my people Israel, bring them out of the wilderness. My people Israel and Judah, saith the Lord, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave them and their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words of the Lord spake concerning Israel, the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and Judah. Israel and Judah. Nobody else. Israel and Judah. Salvation is to deliver Israel and Judah out of the wilderness, out of the hands of the devil, the serpent, the dragon, the Edomites, and all the nations that have gathered together against us. Cobalt, birth certificate fraud, making laws and deleting us and judging us in their jurisdiction, charging us to live on the earth. We have to pay to live on our earth. We delivered the title deed to them to destroy us when we rejected the Most High God and started worshiping their idol gods. We start following them, so that made them gods over us. You understand? We start following them, so that made them our gods. Let me show you that right quick. I'm going to start right here. You can read the whole chapter. Romans 6:12. Let not sin reign in your mortal bodies, that ye should obey it in the lust thereof. Sin. What is sin? For sin is the transgression of the law. Whosoever sinned transgressed the law. Let me get it for you. Whosoever committed sin transgressed the law. Also, whosoever sinned, 1 John 3:4, whosoever commits sin transgress also the law. For sin is the transgression of the law. Okay, back here, Romans 6:12. Let me do this. Let not sin reign in your mortal body, that ye should obey it in the lust thereof. Here's right here, neither yield ye your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin. When you resist, when you wake up and start resisting, let me get my thought. When we wake up, we start resisting. Right? Wake up, start resisting. Neither yield your members as instruments of unrighteousness unto sin, but yield yourself unto God. Come back, yield, do what God wants you to do based on his laws. They lead you through the earth. Through these last days, the only thing that's going to lead you through this trouble, Jacob's trouble, not for Jacob to be destroyed, but for Jacob to be delivered. But those who resist the will of God will be destroyed. With the nation that is falling down, with these nations, they are falling. They are falling. Edomites control the world on every land with his mulatto people. They are mulatto people because they are made up from the indigenous people of the land. The Chinese, the Japanese, they made up from Moab and Ammon. The Australians, they're made up from the indigenous black people of their land. The Europeans, they're made up. They are Edomites, right? But in Egypt, they call themselves Egyptians. In Ishmael, he was brought down, and now the Edomites rule over there. In all the lands of the Caribbean and down through there, except for the ones still being still being predominantly black and don't have a white side and a black side, like Jamaica and Haiti, right? We know Puerto Rico, what's that? What's the other one? Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, and what's on the other side of the Dominican Republic? Is it let's see. Well, anyway, all of those lands that have government set up by unmelanated people, they are Edomites. So God has already promised, like he said in Amos and Joel, he was going to bring down the indigenous people of every land that had us in captivity and raise up a nation, which are the devils, considered the devils, the border of wickedness. He's going to raise them up, and now he's bringing them down out of power to annihilate them that don't want him, that's going to be shooting missiles back. When they see the chariots, they're going to be sitting up there trembling, wondering, do we shoot these nukes at the chariots? No, because they already know. They making movies like, they're going to stop the nukes from other countries. But God is directing those nukes to hit America, but not yet. Because first, this has to happen. Let me show you. All right, we're going to start here at 23. And the dead shall be cast out like dung. Did you hear what? Ain't that what's happening now? Ain't that what's happening now? Look at verse 23. Ain't that what's happening now? People are being killed and they are considered nothing. Collateral damage. What happened that he got so many dead people? This is talking about Babylon. We know it's not talking about, at this time we know it's not talking about the nuclear war that is about to hit the whole world. Why? How do we know that? Because when that happened, when the nukes get ready to destroy Babylon, America over here, Christ, that's the introduction of Christ's second coming. When all those nations, the UN, the United Nations, China, Russia, Japan, North Korea, Africa, when they send their nukes over here, they're gonna knock Babylon off in 1 hour. Nothing left over here. Nobody left alive over here. We're gonna be taken up by the chariots, by the Most High, and we're gonna be given those supernatural bodies, and He gonna let us down. He's going to let us down to clean up the rest of the world and take them into captivity for our possession, and He's going to move us into our kingdom. So we know this ain't talking about that. This is before that. And the dead this is after the governments. This is after the people. Let me see. I don't want to read that. I don't want to go over there yet. But anyway, it's this book, chapter 15. Oh, it's right here. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can find it over here. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Let's read this right here. For the sword and their destruction, at 2 Ezra 15 and 15. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. Talking about the people of Egypt, America. Talking about America and the citizens against the government, right? Civil war first, then race war. Okay, and the sword, and the sword, and their destruction draw nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another people, and the sword and swords in their hand, weapons. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall disregard their kings, and they shall not regard their kings nor their princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. You hear what I'm saying? The course of their action, that's the civil war. They shall not regard their kings or their princes. That's the civil war. But the race war is going on at the same time because whoever this civil war, they're gonna fight against their own people. We know that's the that's righteous against evil. I'll put it like that. But we also know it's gonna be 2/3 gonna be fighting against the people that have them in captivity, which is the king and the priest. Also, there are gonna be people who don't want a king. They're gonna be fighting. It's happening right now. It's beginning. It's happening right now. They don't want a king. Okay, sedition and course of their actions shall stand for their power. Them fighting is going to be their power. Bringing these governments and these rich people down is going to be their power. And a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able to. They're going to have it blocked off. You ain't going to be able to get in certain places. Your family going to be behind the enemy lines and you ain't going to be able to get to them. And they ain't going to be able to get out. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. You know, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but he shall destroy their houses with swords and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread. It's happening right now. It's about to happen. It's jumping off. For great tribulation. Don't say it ain't no tribulation coming. Tribulation's coming. 2 Ezra. And the dead shall be cast out as dung. 16:23. 2 Ezra. No man shall comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted. Talking about the earth we standing on over here, not the whole earth. Although it's happening all over the earth, the plagues are happening in the Edomite world, in the government world. The plagues are happening. If it's happening to your wicked people, it's happening to you, and you ain't got nobody to govern. Plus, people are not regarding kings and princes no more. We ain't regarding you rich people. They saying, there shall be no man left to till the earth. Ain't nobody farming no more. Ain't no more food. And to sow it. You think they're going to be bringing food from their storehouse up in the stores because they don't care about money. Money ain't nothing. I just showed you where the money ain't nothing. It's credit. HJR 193, House Resolution 193. There's no money. Credit. You think they're going to be giving you think your credit card's going to be good? You think that money going to be good when all this shit start happening? It's happening. Your money ain't no good. No one to sow or to till the earth. The trees shall give fruit. Fruit now. God gonna be, you can't stop God feeding his people. And who shall gather them? Ain't no more farm workers. What are farm workers? So you ain't gonna have food going to the market. You're gonna have to be on the right side of the Most High God. Okay? The grapes shall ripen. Who shall tread them? Who shall make your wine? You know you like wine, Esau. You wine heads out here. For all you alcoholics, I had to say that. We got some people in our group think it's all right to drink night and day, and they don't consider that addiction that's happening to them. They ain't gonna be able to function. They ain't gonna be able to function. They ain't gonna be no good soldiers if you got an alcohol problem or a drug problem. You still gonna be chasing that high, man. For all places shall be desolate of men. What that mean? That so that one man shall desire to see another. Remember the book of Eli? That's gonna happen in America first before those nukes come. It's happening now. It's beginning. It's happening. No food stamp, no money. Dollar bill ain't worth nothing. They're going to raid the store, so they're not going to keep supplying you out of their storehouse. They saving that because they see what's coming. They are inducing it on the earth. So that one man shall desire to see another and to hear his voice. For of a city there shall be 10 left. Wow. They're going to kill all them dead bodies. All of those bodies, man. I ain't getting monetized. No way. This is for our people. This is for knowledge. This is so you can come to the refuge city, which is the Most High, back to your nationality. Abandon these people because they are finished. There's no more supplements, no more crumbs you can get from their table, under their table. No more scraps. No more credit. No more dollar bills. They took all the gold. What you gonna work with? For of a city there shall be 10 left. Wow. And 2 in the field, which shall hide themselves in the thick grove and in the cleft of the rocks. Y'all, you gonna have a city of 10 wicked people? And then the people that's wandering, they not wanting to see each other. They see you, but they don't want to see you. And you don't want to see them. So all praises to the Most High. It's going down. Y'all thinking, oh, you keep getting money? Just like in the day of Noah, they kept on doing what they was doing when the judgment had already been announced to Abraham and to Lot. And when Lot tried to tell his son-in-laws and his daughters that God was about to destroy the city that they loved so much that they thought could never be brought down, they got mad at him to the point to where you better get out of here, old man. Who you think you is telling us that God gonna judge us? It's going down. That's all I'm gonna tell you. It's going down. All praises to the Most High. It's going down. And I'm glad.